It's the National Football League on EA Sports, where we'll see two of the NFL's oldest and most storied franchises. It's the Washington Commanders and the New York Giants, and it's coming up next.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
The longtime Panther Graham Gano has us set for a start as we are underway from MetLife Stadium. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
And their coach told us the other day that they wanted to get him in a nice groove right out of the gate. And one way to do that, give him quick throws where he can get the ball out of his hand in a hurry, as he did there.
And yet again, it's McLaurin. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as the tackle made up at the 48-yard line. That one goes for 8 yards. So we just called his name on the previous snap, and they go right back to him, Charles, for a second consecutive completion.
Yeah, I think what we're discovering on this drive is that he feels like he has answers no matter what defense you throw up there. He reads it, finds the open spot, and is available for the completion.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They go play action. Daniels. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Here now, a 3rd and 20. To the air goes Daniels. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And similar to his nickname, Russell Wilson has a dangerous mix of skills, the ability to throw from the pocket and extend plays and throw on the run. Not to mention an absolute winner. Usually has his team in the playoffs competing for Super Bowl opportunities.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll go again with Tracy. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That's a 1st down with a cherry on top, 31 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Straight ahead, here's Tracy. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Here's Wilson. He'll get that to his tight end, Theo Johnson. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Here's Wilson to throw. The short throw pulled in by Bellinger. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 15-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game, like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Absolutely nowhere to go with the football, and he's just going to put this one in the Hudson River. Maybe he's a little fortunate he didn't get called for grounding because that one was well over everyone's head.
2nd and 10. They'll hand it to Tracy. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Here's Wilson. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
On 4th down, on is Graham Gano for the Giants field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Gano's kick is good, and the Giants are off now to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Nice move at the 40. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
His first catch, good for 9 and a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
3rd down and 10. Play action, now it's Daniels. And that is incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They'll start with a run by Tracy. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Right back to Tracy. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. gets a chance to get after the quarterback, it's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here's Jamie Gillen now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And he's able to get it out of there. Fielded at the 43. It'll be a 47-yard punt with a net of 40 following a 7-yard return. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
So from just across the midfield stripe, here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll leave him with a 3rd and 2. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Daniels. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
Well, every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And he will take it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Brian Robinson Jr. A 5-yard touchdown run. And Washington has taken the lead.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run for Brian Robinson. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. And New York set to take the field. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
2nd and 5. Now Wilson. Open man, that's Malik Neighbors. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Now it's Wilson. He's got Slayton on the slant, and they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. A short throw pulled in by Bellinger, and he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react, even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL. They're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh, my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
They go play action now. Wilson. Complete. It's Johnson. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Here's a 2nd and 5. On the give, it's Tracy.
And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Off the play fake. Here's Wilson.
He's got his target. That's complete. And the Giants are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. So it's 1st and goal, and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Now it's Wilson rolling to his left. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. Russell Wilson, an 8-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants are once again back in front.
Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
No. Davis from the top rope. I like it. Graham Gano on for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. That time, a 9-play drive.
And it was Russell Wilson finishing things off with a touchdown run.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. Now Austin Eckler on the return.
And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. And the Washington offense set to take over again. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
Now 2nd and 5. Off the play fake, Daniels. He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards the pickup there. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
A good job in coverage there. They took away his top read on the play, so he went through his progressions and ended up settling on his running back who scored on their last possession, but the coverage held. It goes incomplete.
Daniels looking to throw. And a dump off here to Robinson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Throwing now is Daniels. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the air goes Daniels. That's Samuel, caught left side. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Now Daniels. This to McLaurin out on the left side. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
To throw is Daniels. Caught by the tight end, Ertz. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get ahead of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. 2nd and 6. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jaden Daniels as the first half is winding down. And the Commanders have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
And this is a balancing act for a head coach with a rookie quarterback. You've got to walk a line with him. You don't want him getting happy feet, but you also don't want to rein in what worked for him in college. And here, he pulls it down, takes it himself, and takes it into the end zone.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
It was a solid first half of football for the Alabama man, Brian Robinson. He had a touchdown run that helped get his guys this halftime lead. We were certainly treated to an entertaining first half. Both these teams with some high points and maybe a couple of low points as well. So it's going to be a question of who can be the most disciplined team going forward.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The Giants offense set to begin this third quarter. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Tracy going to get it on first down. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
In motion, Slayton. Play action. It's Wilson. That's complete. It's Neighbors. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Tracy. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. He's still having trouble moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, so much for halftime adjustment. Sometimes the best adjustment you make is no adjustment. You just do things better. But in this case, I think an adjustment was in order. They may have to change up and start throwing the ball around a little bit more.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Wilson. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 43. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
From Commanders territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. On the ground, here comes Tracy. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's Wilson. Catch made by Slayton. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Play action. Now Wilson. Bellinger hauls it in out left side. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he will take it all in for a giant touchdown. Wan'Dale Robinson. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
Extra point try good by Gano, and it's now 17-14. A 10-play drive that time.
And it was finished up by a touchdown catch from Wan'Dale Robinson.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away.
Now couldn't take the chance. This will be returned from the goal line. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. First possession of the second half now for Washington. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just already know our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And the slot man goes in motion left.
Here's Daniels.
Got a man. It's Brown. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
13 yards there and a Washington first.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10.
Robinson up the middle.
He juked him. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From just shy of midfield, here's 2nd and a yard. They'll motion McLaurin left. And he'll get it here on the touch pass. He's across midfield.
And he'll be taken down at the 26. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it's 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
They go play action. Daniels finding Ertz again.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Zach Ertz from 19 yards away. And the Commanders have taken the lead here in this third quarter. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Gay is on for the point after. It's up and good to make it 21-17. That time a 6-play drive.
And it ends with a Zach Ertz touchdown.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Another drive coming up for New York's offense.
They had gotten the lead with the opening drive touchdown in the third quarter. Now they relinquished that lead back. Could be in for an interesting second half.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? Almost turning into one of those pendulum games, right, where it swings back and forth, and who's going to make the play that changes that maybe it puts it on one side and keeps it there.
This one is Slayton over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Now it's Wilson. Robinson's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
But he's turning in a nice performance. Remember, he had the touchdown earlier, and this time he's able to beat double coverage to grab it.
I think that if he weren't worried about a taunting penalty, he'd run by the opposing team's bench and say, guys, 2's not going to be enough. You better get some more guys trying to cover me. He knows how to get
left sideline, a dive, and it looks like he's got it. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
On the run is Tracy. Taken down at the 30.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 7.
They'll keep it on the ground. Tracy.
And he's going to be stopped close to the first down marker at Washington's 12-yard line.
It's 25. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with third down coming up. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Here's Wilson to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Giants first down as this defense unable to hold. It's a 7-yard gain there on 3rd and 2.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, Tracy. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. 43 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
From the shotgun, Wilson. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. The slot man in motion right. He'll get it here on the jet sweep. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage sometime.
And that is caught. He's got it for a giant touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Giants answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the 4th quarter and a chance to regain the lead in the tight one. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Brian Burns flying in there and dropping him for the sack.
That sack doesn't change their offensive game plan. They always want to air it out and try and get the ball downfield quickly. They're going to have to block a little bit better, though, because the urgency and pressure just increase. Twice the distance now just to get a 1st down and 1 less down to try and get it.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Daniels looking to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the 1st. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
If they get a game-changing score on this drive, it's going to be because of plays like that. That run was pure heart. Took it himself, found a way to reset the downs, and advance the ball.
Throwing now is Daniels. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. To the air goes Daniels. Flush to his right. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the fourth quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time, and that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
Gay's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the fourth quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Giants offense and Russell Wilson headed back onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Now Wilson. There's a short one caught by Johnson. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 4. And 3rd and 1 now. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides. Up the middle they go. Tracy, and he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 54 yards rushing for him now on 17 carries.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Running left is Tracy to the 43, 2nd down.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. They go play action now. Wilson. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
And in the second half of a tied game, every decision gets magnified. And here, if he forces this ball, it could be intercepted. So that's the prudent play to just airmail it out of bounds.
Boy, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now. Now Wilson. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
From the gun, it's Wilson.
Robinson hauling it in outright.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
This is 1st and 10.
They give it off here to the tight end.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Tracy trying the right side.
He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Here's 1st and goal.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts,
as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout,
as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Third down and goal coming up here. Now it's Tracy.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run.
And the Giants have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
And this is the time of game where offensive lines can really dictate a team's fortunes. It's been a tough battle. They've been out there for a long time. But this was a question of who can wear down who. And that's excellent work to put a long drive together and finish it with the touchdown run to take the lead.
Gano the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Now Washington
down by 7, 1:09 to play. They need a touchdown to the PAT to tie it as they come up 1st and 10. This will be caught at Samuel, and he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
That's a nice job right there, partner, because they were able to work down the middle of the field, working in the seams, because I think defensively they were guarding the sidelines, trying to keep them from getting out of bounds. They took what they gave them, and it was successful.
Back to throw.
looking for the out route, and he's got it. It's complete to McCaffrey.
This is where hustle and urgency come into play. I think you've got to get up there and spike it.
This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here first down. And oh, that one nearly intercepted. That would have sealed it. Instead, it'll be second down.
Nearly an interception. If that one's picked off, it's over. So a new lease on life, so to speak.
A lot of times when you're in coverage, you're so focused on the man and the coverage that sometimes the ball, if it arrives, it surprises you. That may have happened to him in that situation.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And now time for one final play that has to be obviously in the end zone.
Can't wait to see what they call, but you want to get it to your best player. Sometimes you have to do it by formation. Move everyone to one side, and maybe he gets a one-on-one isolated on the backside.
He's back to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
This one came right down to the wire, and CD, they had that one final chance to try to navigate their way into the end zone, but couldn't get it done to avoid the loss.
Yeah, and how about the defense there? Because while they had one final look at the end zone, the defense made sure they knew what they were doing on the last play, executed it flawlessly, and no flags. Because remember, if there's a defensive penalty, there's one play left in the game that the offense gets. They didn't allow that to happen.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from MetLife Stadium.